Welcome to The Interest. I'm Katie Jensen. Today, we'll hear from LaDonna Lockard in her segment, Maximum Conversations in Minimal Time. Then we'll hear what wisdom our own Vincent Valvo has to share about trigger leads and poetic moments in mortgage. Lastly, you won't want to miss the latest market update from our own Sarah Wolak in NMP's Mortgage Meteorology. But first, we turn our attention to kickbacks in California. We're not talking about backyard barbecues with the neighbors. We're referring to real estate agents requesting kickbacks from originators for referring their clients to them, which is, as every licensed originator knows, a serious RESPA violation. With this unrelenting down market and more recently a National Association of Realtors settlement that perhaps might lower agents' commissions further, some of the state's top mortgage brokers believe requests for kickbacks will become all the more common. So what can originators do about it? Stay tuned to find out.
My team member told me, Tuan, I don't know why, but I talked to 10 realtors, almost 10 of them told me that if I refer to you, are you going to pay me? How much are you going to pay me? So they will not refer without any compensation.
Some would find it hard to believe that the founder and CEO of Loan Factory, Tuan Nguyen, and one of the top producing brokers in the nation had trouble finding loyal and compliant realtor partners. But that's the state of the market when everyone is struggling to make a buck. Even top producing brokers have to be careful about who their loan officers work with. Equity Smart Home Loan CEO Pablo Martinez remembers those calls when he was an LO.
But I did come across those few that would come in and say, hey, I'm going to give you some loans. I want this, I want that. And I'm like, well, I'm sorry. And the good thing at Countrywide, I was in a position where I wasn't, you don't get paid as much as if you're in a broker world.
Martinez reminds his LOs that it's not worth losing your license, paying $10,000 in penalties, or serving up to a year in prison for violating Section 8 of RESPA. Top producing broker originator from Sunny Hill Financial, Brian Cook, said kickbacks stem from a sense of desperation by realtors and originators. That's why they're more common in California, and especially in Southern California.
I've come across it a couple times, but as we all know, RESPA prohibits referral fees. I suggest if a realtor wants to earn more than the real estate commission on a deal, then they should just either get licensed and originate loans themselves.
If the state allows real estate agents to also work in part as originators, that could be a compliant solution for both parties. But reporting the person who requested the kickback may not bring the originator justice as one would assume.
Even I know my competitor, they are doing this. My competitor, they're doing this. I really want to report them. But it's interesting that the regulator, let's see, DRE, they don't even look at it because they only look at the complaint or the complaint from the consumer.
For more insights on California's kickback dilemma, go to nationalmortgageprofessional.com. For The Interest, I'm Katie Jensen.
We all dream of owning a home, but for too long, if you didn't fit the mold, you were stuck. Stuck because the system worked for everyone except you. We've changed that. Angel AI uses advanced AI technology to give a 100% trusted solution and fast answers for worry-free financing, allowing you to achieve fair and equal access to lending. Angel AI. AI you can bank on.
For The Interest, I'm LaDonna Lockard. I'm here today with Brandon Treadway. Brandon, you are with Social Coach. Back me up, though. Tell me a little bit about how you got started in the mortgage industry.
Yeah, thank you. Good to be here. So I actually got started in the mortgage industry in the mortgage education space, working right alongside you. And that was an enjoyable couple of years and ended up finding my way out into the marketing space. And so I worked with a number of marketing agencies for, better part of the last decade, and then kind of just slowly found my way back into mortgage. So now I'm a social coach and I'm our director of growth. And yeah, our mission is to help mortgage and real estate professionals to improve their reach and gain more leads from social media.
I really like the approach that you've taken over the years, because I feel like you don't just utilize one social media platform. You're kind of on all of them. What do you think is the most underutilized social platform by MLOs?
The most underutilized is easily TikTok. And I know that when I say TikTok, a lot of times we get a little bit of a recoil from people. Like, isn't that just like a dancing app for kids? And that used to be the case. But post-COVID, it is the fastest growing, most popular social media app in the world. And the thing that makes it extra special is its algorithm, that it understands its users individually so well, based on the type of content that they use, that if someone is in kind of like a mode of looking for real estate, home buying, mortgage, credit repair, credit report type stuff, like it's so easy for a loan officer, for a real estate agent to find that person through video, and the reach can be insane. We have a number of LOs that we work with that are getting hundreds of thousands, sometimes millions of views on their videos, just because they are understanding and figuring out how to kind of hit that sweet spot. It takes a little bit of time, a little bit of refinement, but with that consistency, there's a really big like ocean to be fishing out of.
I think you probably kind of tipped your hat already to it, but what would you say is something that LOs aren't doing enough with their social media?
Good question. It's short form video. Short form video is the most pushed and most engaged with piece of content on any social media platform, period. Doesn't matter if it's Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, whatever. Short form video, the algorithms themselves push that video content more than anything else. And also, statistically, people engage with that content at a higher rate than they do just text and images. Over 50% of people say they prefer to watch a video than read a text and image post. So
how short are we talking? Like when we say short form, how many seconds? What are we?
90 seconds. 90 seconds is kind of like the sweet spot. 90 seconds is kind of the ideal length, particularly because that fits into Instagram Reels timeline. That's the most you can do and just like upload a reel. And then 90 seconds is perfect on TikTok. That's actually the highest engagement time limit is 90 seconds.
Wow. I feel like we need to do a deep dive of this because we are just scratching the surface. What do you say we have you back? We're going to do a part 2 of this because we have so much more to get into. And this is in itself kind of the original short form content. So
this is very short form.
I know. We'll have you back. Okay. So for the interest, I'm LaDonna Lockard. Can't wait for part 2 with Brandon Treadway.
In the land of loans, where numbers roam, there's a tale of triggers that are ripe with foam. Mortgage seekers with dreams in their eyes unknowingly embark on a wild surprise. Trigger leads like whispers in the breeze set off a frenzy, if you please. Lenders lurk like hungry cats at night, waiting to pounce and take a big bite. A borrower sneezes, a credit check is done. Suddenly, in come the offers, a ton. Finance now, they scream in glee, but the borrowers wonder, who are thee? Like bees to honey, they swarm and buzz, but borrowers pause, creating a fuss. For trigger leads, though cunning and sly, can make borrowers roll their eyes to the sky. In this mortgage maze where confusion reigns, trigger leads dance like mischievous sprains, but borrowers beware, don't fall for the bait, or you'll end up tangled in a loan-laden fate.
Welcome back to this week's Mortgage Meteorology, where we'll touch on all things to do with the overall climate of the housing market, not just in our neighborhood, but yours too. Let's kick off today with the hottest forecast of them all, home prices. According to the FHFA, the temperature of U.S. home prices in April edged up slightly from March. However, when we look at the year-over-year trend, it's clear that the market has been sweltering, with prices heating up by over 6%. Taking a closer look at the regional climate, the FHFA reports for the 9 census divisions seasonally adjusted monthly price changes from March 2024 to April 2024 varied in temperature. In the West, South, Central, and Middle Atlantic divisions, prices cooled slightly. Meanwhile, the East South Central division experienced a heat wave with a notable increase of 1.4%. Over the past 12 months, all regions have seen positive growth. The West South Central division had a milder increase of 3%, whereas New England and Middle Atlantic divisions sizzled with the highest gains, soaring by 8.5%. In other news, the S&P CoreLogic Case-Shiller indices corroborated the FHFA's data. Of CoreLogic's 20-city analysis, San Diego reported the highest annual gain during April, a sweltering 10.3% increase during the month. Other hotspots were New York and Chicago. Stay tuned for more updates as we track these changing conditions. I'll meet you back here next week with your updated housing market barometer.
For more on these and all of today's top stories, go to nationalmortgageprofessional.com.